Hello everyone, welcome back to another video here. We are on Alternate Future episode 3, and yeah, it's pretty cool how episode 2 didn't take episode 2 came out, it was 51 minutes long, so yeah. But I'm just going to give you a quick recap of what happened last video. Last episode. Last episode was basically where many major alliances, such as like the Axis expanded, the Mediterranean Alliance, and I'm just going to call this the Baltic Alliance, being created. And yeah, oh wait, and expand and territorial expansions all across Europe, such as like the downfall of the Soviet Union, um, I guess expansion of the French, and yeah, territorial gains in Asia as well, especially for the Japanese. But let's just get straight right into the video. So first, Germany will first declare war on Denmark and Norway because they want more oil and they're kind of low on population. So first, German troops will immediately move into Denmark's mainland, and they will easily and swiftly brief through Denmark lands until 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 the Mediterranean Alliance and the UK is called, or not called, but joining the war. As the Mediterranean Alliance has seen too much German expansion in aid of the ending of the Soviet Union, as the Germans were aiding many countries that were anti Soviets, such as Poland, Lithuanians, Latvians, Swedish, and the Finnish. So, the Mediterranean Alliance and the UK are tired of German expansion across Europe and any more fascist ideals being expanded. So, French troops will begin to move in. What the hecky? French troops will begin to move into modern day Rhine lands in southern German lands. And this will be a huge shocker for many countries, such as Germany, obviously. And in the UK, will especially immediately move into Scotland as they were wanting to get revenge, and German supplies are kind of getting blown up and or being blockaded by British and Norwegian boats. But the British will immediately swiftly take out the Scottish capital, and it's going to be super brief as they will fully capitulate Scotland and will begin to start landing in modern day Netherlands. And the British are sending supplies all the way to Denmark and are trying to make a naval landing in like northern Germany, but they can't because of the German fleet. But soon Germany will successfully take out Denmark's capital of Copenhagen, and they will immediately land in Norway's capital and will easily take it over and easily and swiftly breeze through Norwegian lands until British troops arrive and will put a stalemate in Norway. But British troops will continue to supply this Netherlands occupation zone by the British. But the Germans will not like this and will immediately start pouring troops into Netherlands. And this will not go so well because, yeah. But Yugoslavia will actually send in troops through Romania. And this will not go so well for Romania because they were not prepared for this. They were just forced to join. So they are kind of at a fault here and can't do anything. So the Yugoslavians will send in troops to Romania's capital. Well, I mean, spearhead troops to Romania's capital, and Romania will do a successful holdout and actually do a successful counteroffensive against the Yugoslavians. But it's not going to go well for long because Yugoslavian troops will easily defeat the Romanian troops. And this will not go so well, as the rest of Romania will switch sides and be on the Allies, as expected. So Romanian troops will easily start pouring into Slovakia. And Slovakia is like super weak. One of the weakest countries in Europe, besides Estonia. But they will continue to move into Slovakia and take their capital and will capitulate them. As German troops will begin to rush downwards into the Rhine and will push back the this French very swiftly. And they will declare war against the Benelux countries and will make a very swift campaign of really rushing through and trying to get to Paris as they do. And a lot of troops around Paris will begin to expand in the Battle of Paris begins as millions and upon millions of allies and German troops start pouring in and will determine the battle for Paris. And Germany will not do so well because they will immediately be pushed back from all sides besides the spearhead. And after 3 weeks of fighting, the Germans will lose this front entirely, losing over 1.5 million troops, and will lead to the downfall of the Germans, as the Germans will start recruiting children and drafting people without their consent. And this will really make uprisings super likely against the Germans, as which they do so. And many revolts will pop up all across Germany, and the two strongest revolts are actually near Berlin. And these revolts will easily move into Berlin, and they will try to find the man who has the mustache. And they do. They will find him inside of his bunker and will easily assassinate him. As thus, many German officials will be fighting over who should be the new chancellor, or Führer. I don't know how to pronounce it. But this will be a perfect chance for the rebellions to expand. And the Allies will expand as well, as the British will successfully land in northern Germany and easily retake the Dutch. And they will easily go inwards and move swiftly against the Germans, as the French will begin to move in and easily take over all of southern Germany. And the rest of Germany will surrender over to the People's Republic of Germany. So this will be the peace treaty of the not the Great European War, but a very large European conflict that ended the terror of the Mustache Man. And I forgot to add the capital for the Dutch, so my bad. But Germany does lose not that quite much of land. And you might be wondering why. Well, the entire reason of why this entire conflict started was because the guy who was in charge of Germany, he wanted to create Germany and get them out of humiliation because they lost tons of land after the First World War. So, this was why. So, the British and the French both agreed that they should keep old Prussian lands because those are German ethnic. And yeah. But the British, they will be in a very, very large downfall because their stocks are like this, like skyrocketing down. So they have to export any food from British Raj all the way to London to feed their people. And many Indians will be starved from this. So, as expected, many Indians, and when I mean by many, I mean by many Indians, will rise up against the British. So, many Indians will rise up and will begin to move into British Raj. But the British will expect this to happen. They had high chances that this was going to happen. So they already had troops stationed here. And their main goal is New Delhi. So they will first try to take out this small little area or region that has tried to rebel. But the Indians will put up a good fight. And this will shock many British, as many British soldiers will begin to actually surrender and join the Indians. And this will really make the British mad because after they figured out about that, they will make a new policy that says if you betray us, you will not see another light of day. So many British soldiers will begin to start listening to this policy as they do not want to lose their family. But many Indians will hold out in this region and create a defensive line here. But moving up north, many Indians in the north will begin to move downwards and actually do successful without having that much food or resources in general. But they are getting exports from many other countries. But the British Navy is starting to blockading these two regions to from any other exports. But Iran and Afghanistan, Tibet, Nepal are all supporting this. You might be wondering why those four countries? Because these four countries are scared of any British like interference or like movement across this region. And they have seen what the British have been doing to the Indians. And they do not like this. So they are sending them aid secretly. But these Indians will continue to rapidly expand into British territory. And the British will be able to slow them down, but will not be able to stop them until many British soldiers will sneak through Nepal and actually do a massive spearhead. And this will damage the Indians massively as New Delhi is right here. And this is a very, very impactful area. So British soldiers will then do another spearhead, and this will tighten the gap. As British soldiers, holy, will begin to move in and slowly but surely destroy this New Delhi rebellion. But a unknown man or woman, they will make a new idea or a new battle plan, as he calls it terrorist attacks. As he tells many Indians to fight for their country and continue to, because he will soon strap bombs onto Indians and tell them to run into many soldiers. And what I mean by many, I mean by hundreds of thousands, not even hundreds, probably thousands of British soldiers and camps. And these will be groups. So the Indians will slowly but surely take control of this, and they will ask Nepal to blockade their borders, which Nepal surely does. And the British will begin to lose rapidly, and their front lines will not go. But India will slowly but surely run out of manpower until the British does a massive counteroffensive. What I mean by massive, I mean by massive, because they will send in thousands, hundreds of thousands of troops, probably millions of troops on this front line, and will easily push back the Indians. And New Delhi will soon be in close range of being captured. And as the British troops will begin to move into New Delhi, they will find the man who was behind all of this. They will find Arjun Frohl, and they will imprison him. And this will shock many Indians, because many Indians actually did not know who he was. They just knew that they were told to strap bombs on their chest and run to fight for their country. And this will not go so well, because as many Indian generals do not have experience, they will be forced to retreat, because they have no experience of commanding a actual division. But many Indians holding out in Pakistan will soon be cut off from the sea and not do well, because many Indians are already running to Afghanistan and Iran. As this entire front line collapses, this front line will soon collapse as well. And the same for the others, because many Indians here had high morals, and they were just getting enough soldiers ready to plan a full-on attack in this region, but they were too late. As British soldiers will move into Myanmar, or modern-day Myanmar, and they will make landings all across Myanmar. As they will land in the south, southwest, and west. And these will all connect up and basically just force Myanmar to surrender. And this entire region down here will begin to slowly but surely be destroyed by British soldiers, and many Indians have already given up. Many Indians are already sailing to many different countries, as then they will soon surrender, thus ending the British-Indian War. As neighboring countries such as Iran, Afghanistan, Tibet, Nepal, and Bhutan, and Thailand all see this and will band together, meeting in Bhutan's capital and discussing about what they should do about this event. But moving on to South America, which we have not talked about. South America will experience a change, as Brazil will have an election, and their election will be rigged, as the fascists will win, and the Democrats are really, really mad about this. So they will start a civil war against the fascists versus the Democrats. So the fascist party will be red and the Democrats will be blue. But shall we start the civil war? The fascist group will immediately take action and will immediately just send in all forces. They want this war over with. Over with. In this section, you might be wondering, why is this section even in the war? Well, it's because the fascist leader promised that if they join his side, they will get every single economic opportunity as this area does. So they joined. But continuing on, this area / region will immediately take action, and any people living here will be having to deal with guerrilla warfare. And guerrilla warfare is horrible, as we all know, because it's very hard to deal with guerrilla warfare, especially in this time and age. And when I mean by many, Democrats will be forced to evacuate this entire region. It is bad because this force will do a spearhead as well as this force will do a spearhead. And this is just one of many spearheads that will happen in this war. Because this entire region is now encircled, and the Democrats haven't even built up their army yet. Until they actually do. Build it up earlier than expected, as the fascist said. But they were prepared, or so they thought, because the Democrats will begin to move into this front. But this front will retaliate and easily push them back, and easily spearhead into where they evacuated to, and easily capture that force. And this will shock many, because this was just one small little rebellion, and you're letting that defeat one of your strongest armies? Pathetic, as the fascist leader said. As those words spread, many people across Brazil will begin to just join his side without even fighting. And this will allow him to gain the upper hand, because the Democratic leader hasn't really done any major feats. And this will allow for the fascists to easily expand across Brazil and spread their ideals, as the fascist leader will actually build a front line and will send in their last and final strongest force into Brasilia, as in winning Brasilia. And many Democrats here will not be able to escape. But many Democrats here will escape to either Venezuela, the United States, anywhere that's not fascist. Because this entire region will surrender to the fascists. And this will be the end of the Brazilian Civil War, but will be a change of South America in general. Because Brazil's fascist leader will make a statement saying, "As I have won the Civil War, I will make some policies as if anyone dares to harm my political power, they will be harmed." And he says this to everyone. And when I mean by everyone, I mean by everyone. He says this to even the British, the United States, Mexico, and Argentina. And this will show how proud he is of his nation and how much greed he will have over political power. But many countries will ignore this message, such as Argentina, like the British and United States. But some will actually be inspired, such as Colombia and Chile will be proud of this. And many countries, such as Argentina, will be like, what? Why? Doesn't make sense. as many say. But they say he has many inspiring words that make my country proud and make me proud. So Colombia and Chile will join this and will have the ideals of fascism still in the world. But moving back onto Asia, we will have the continuation of basically the Japanese versus the. Get in the shower. As we move on to Asia, the Japanese and Chinese tension will grow as China will begin to move into the rest of any more Chinese lands. And China will begin to move into Tibet. And the communist revolution, or communist rebellion as well. And any more of just any other rebellion that's besides them. But Japan will see this as an opportunity to attack China as they're vulnerable, as they have troops on the entirely other side of their country. Because Japan will join on their own side. They will join and will immediately attack on all fronts. They will move into this territory and will easily and swiftly take it over. As with them landing in Shinsei, I think, I'm pretty sure. I don't know. And Japan moving into Taiwan and just any more coastal areas of China. And this will shock China. And the Chinese will immediately retaliate by piecing out with all these countries. What the heck? Peace out with all those countries. But will put their focus all on Japan. As Japanese troops will move down, what the heck? Will move downwards into Chinese lands. And China will retaliate by pushing this Japanese landing back to this entire little point till they make another landing. And they move in and take Beijing. And this is a major loss for the Chinese. As in the south, the Japanese will begin to rapidly expand, but the Chinese will continue to slow their advance and even push them back. As Chinese boats will begin to go out and start blockading this region. And Japan's navy will easily overpower them, but will slow that down until China will easily land to Taiwan and blockade this region. And this is not going to go so well for this Japanese landing. And they will easily be pushed back and will surrender. Both both regions, not Taiwan. And the Japanese would be very mad about this and will continue to move downwards. And will meet up, but Chinese troops will move in and they will ask for help from all the rest of the Chinese countries. They will accept, but the continuation of this war will be settled in episode 4. So thank you all for watching this video. So this video was kind of rushed a little bit because I need to work on another script because I won't be able to record or post videos next week, even though it's spring break, because I'm going out of town and I won't be able to post. So, yeah, so I'm recording this for Sunday, and I'm recording another video for Wednesday, and possibly I will record another video for next Sunday. But thank you all for watching. Like and subscribe if you enjoyed, and peace.